Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard Pyatt. I'm with WKZO Radio in Kalamazoo, and I'm a proud resident of the city of Kalamazoo. Welcome to the State of the City Address in Kalamazoo for 2009. I'm very glad that you're here tonight. And there's quite a program leading up to the mayor's remarks tonight, and not the least of which is our national anthem, which will be brought to us tonight by Fred Colgren and the Kalamazoo Central Chamber Choir. Please welcome them. Well, if you've been at least familiar with Kalamazoo for a while, you know the Washingtons, or you know of them, Fran, Vaughn, and Vaughn III. During the past 5 years, they've appeared before more than 150,000 children and adults. Their shows have been booked in many places: theaters, universities, colleges, churches, prisons. And their desire is to create an accurate and in-depth view of the African American experience through the performing arts. And they're going to grace us tonight with a word of inspiration. Please welcome them.
Once upon a time, in a small Midwestern city, for as far as the eye could see, there was dissatisfaction, distrust, and confusion, thicker than 100 midnights down in a cypress swamp.
So the people of the community stepped out into the streets and looked around and said,
"There is work to be done. We can do better than this."
So the people reached out and took matters into their own hands, and they rolled ideas around into their heads until they made a new vision of community life.
and they set that vision ablazing in the sky.
Then the people made a promise and sent the children out to walk around, and where they stepped, their footsteps created new paths and opened new doors.
But then the people stopped and looked and saw that their community was still divided and torn. So they hoped well and searched for an even better vision.
The people sat down on the side of a hill where they could think. By a deep, wide river, they sat down with head in hands.
These people, like parents bending over their babies, kneeled down in the dust, toiling over the complexities of life. They looked at the east side.
They looked at the west side.
They looked at the north side.
They looked at the south side. They looked until they shaped a better vision that considered the lives of all who lived there.
Then, out of that vision grew the promise of a better life.
And Kalamazoo began to shine as a beacon for all the world to see.
Forever.
And forever
And forever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a special introduction of the mayor this evening. Compliments of a gentleman who has been a resident of the city of Kalamazoo for 25 years. He and his wife have 4 grown daughters, all of them graduates of Kalamazoo Central High School, and he happens to be a member of the Kalamazoo City Commission today. Will you welcome Commissioner David Anderson?
Thank you very much, Richard. The very first words that I heard out of the mouth of my neighbor, Bobby Hopewell, were, "Howdy, neighbor," yelled to me across our backyards. It makes you think a little bit about what it means to be a neighbor. Certainly, living proximate to each other is a sign of at least being neighbors in some fashion. In another way, being a neighbor means associating in a friendly way, exchanging visits, having informal chats, or offering ordinary help and advice. In a bigger way, being a neighbor means being a fellow human being, as in, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. We are all creatures of place. We are all shaped by our surroundings and fondly remember familiar sights, sounds, and smells from places we call home. This city is our home, and we are all neighbors. I would dare to say that we would be hard-pressed to find a bigger booster of the city of Kalamazoo, not just of what is, but what can be. It is with great honor that I'm given the opportunity to introduce to you tonight my neighbor and the mayor of the city of Kalamazoo, Bobby Hopewell. Thank you. Wow.
Wow. That is my favorite word, I'm told. Thank you, my friend.